Welcome back, Towners. Today we're going to make pan-seared salmon with the spinach cream sauce. Let's get it. Welcome back, Towners. Alright, to start off this recipe here, to make our pan-seared salmon and our spinach cream sauce, we have our cast iron skillet here. And we added in some olive oil and some unsalted butter. Once that heated up, we added in our salmon fillet with the skin on. We put it into the skillet, skin side down, and basically just let this go for 3 minutes to get a nice crisp on the bottom of the salmon. We season this up with some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, and some paprika. And we basically just let that go for 3 minutes. Once we reached the 3-minute mark, we went ahead and tried to flip this over, trying to get underneath the salmon without messing up the try to crust that we formed. So flipped it over and then let it go for an additional 3 minutes. We also started to baste it with the olive oil and butter that we had in the pan and any of the seasonings that may have came off of the fish once we flipped it over. Now after we let this go and let this cook, after we reached the 3 minutes on the other side, we went ahead and just removed this from the skillet. Your cooking time may vary depending on how thick your salmon is or the piece of fish that you're cooking. So once we took that out of the pan, we put that on a plate with some paper towel just to let it rest for a few minutes. And this is what it looked like after it came out of the oven. That's the flesh side. Nice crust on it from the seasonings that we had on it. Now we came back to our skillet and placed in some butter. We're going to make our cream sauce now. Let that butter melt. If you want a cleaner, whiter sauce, feel free to clean out your pan and start over. But I wanted all of the flavor and all of the seasoning that we already had in there from the oil and butter and the seasonings. So we placed our butter into the skillet, and then we also placed in some heavy whipping cream and seasoned it with some additional seasoning, some additional flavor, some pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, and paprika. I didn't add any more additional salt to that. I didn't feel like I needed it, but you're definitely welcome to add the salt to taste yourself. I went ahead and brought this up to a boil, continuing to mix it up and scraping up the bottom of the pan. Once it came to a boil, this portion here is completely optional. We wanted to make a slurry out of that. So we made a slurry to thicken this up even a bit more with some arrowroot flour and some water. And then we poured that into our cream sauce. Now this allowed it to thicken up really well. You don't have to do this. It will thicken up also with the heavy whipping cream, cooking it up long enough. But we cooked this for it took only about 15 to 20 seconds for the sauce to thicken up once we added it into it. And then we placed our fish back into the skillet. After we placed the fish back into the skillet, we then added in some spinach. I probably should have put the spinach in after the sauce thickened up, or even before even before I added the slurry to it, so that will wilt down and I can put the fish on top. But doing it this way, I basically tried to stuff the spinach into the pan around the sides of the salmon, and basically went ahead and tried to cook that down without disturbing the little beautiful crust that we had on the top of the fish. But yeah, just playing around and maneuvering with that, and when I see some of the spinach starting to wilt down, I'm just adding more to that section. But cook the spinach down. But if you're doing this, go ahead and put the spinach down before you put the fish back in, and then you'll be good to go. But after the spinach wilts, and at that point we're done, took it off of the heat, and this is how our pan-seared salmon and spinach cream sauce looks. This is how it is still in the skillet. We then went ahead and transferred that over to a plate, and here we go, plated up. That's pretty much how I wanted it to be once I cooked it and put the spinach on top. With you can see the spinach and cream sauce all on the bottom, and then I just laid the fish on top. That's what I should have did, but it still worked out anyway. But this fish came out great, nice and flaky. Again, your cooking time can change depending on how thick your fish is. When you're cooking it, if you look along the sides of the fish, you can kind of see the color changing. It should go from a pink to a white, opaque color. And halfway through, that's kind of an indication to let you know it's ready to flip it. But This dish came out great. The cream sauce was nice and flavorful with the spinach, and the salmon came out awesome also. If you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to hit us up in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy this recipe, or pan-seared salmon with a spinach cream sauce. Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy. And please subscribe. Enjoy.
Hey, Towners. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. All ingredients and directions are listed in the description box below each video. And as always, thank you guys for watching.